still feel the profound and unconditional love that you experienced during your NDE within yourself, or does it fade away with time? I love that question because it is something that comes up from time to time, but probably not something I've spoken about enough, is that the NDE is not like a dream that fades away in time. It's more like a door that opens. And once you've had an NDE, it's like you've walked through the doorway and there's no turning back. You can't unknow what you know. And so you always have access to that space of unconditional love. But what happens is that our desire to fit into the society around us who are in a space of fear, that can have a tendency to bring us back down to this place of fear. And this is why I share the lessons I do, why I do the events I do, why I write the books I write. It's to help people to stay in that space. We are able to have experiences like an NDE without having to nearly die. And that's why I share it, because you don't have to die to experience something like that. But the trick is staying in that space. Left to your own devices, you would be able to stay in that space. But here's what brings you out of that space of unconditional love. It can be anything from the guilt of the people around you not feeling it the way you do. It can be the news that you listen to that's happening in the world all the time. It can be people bringing fear to you, bringing fear-based messages. All of these things, among many others. It can be anger, people doing things, or you feeling exploited and you feeling in a space of anger. All these kinds of things can drop you out of that space of love. But here's the way I tend to look at my life now. Before the NDE, I used to do things like meditate to take me to that space. And real life was fearful. And I had to escape real life by creating experiences that took me into that space of love. After the NDE, it's the other way around. My life is, the way I like to look at it, is that I have created a life, because my near-death experience taught me how important it was. I have created a life that supports being in that space of love nearly all the time. And whenever something shakes me out of it, that's when I feel, okay, what is it that's shaking me out of it? What do I need to heal so that I can go back to my natural space of, which is feeling the unconditional love? So in other words, we here have been conditioned to believe that our natural way is this way of fear, which is what we are conditioned in this world. And we're constantly trying to create the space of love or escape to it when we discover it. I'm telling you to flip the way you think and think the opposite. Your natural state is the state of love, even though you've been conditioned the opposite. But think of it that your natural state is the state of love. And when things take you out of that state, you need to heal what it is about those things so that you can always be in that state of love. And the kind of things to look at is, what is making you feel guilty? What is making you feel fearful? And then when you start discovering those things and healing those things, like for example, I don't watch the news anymore because I just know that that is not reality. That is just mass media trying to sell bad news because that's what sells. So, and there's a lot of other things, and people will challenge you. And this is again what brings you out of that state of love, is people challenging you and saying, oh, you've just got your head in the sand. You're not in tune with reality. So the thing to ask yourself is, how does it make you feel? How does it make you feel? You want to feel in that state of love because that's what you want to take out into the world with you.